Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You walk over to your wardrobe. You choose your favorite shirt. Your right hand reaches out and begins to fasten the buttons. But then, something terrifying happens. Your left hand flies up. It grabs the shirt, and it begins violently unbuttoning it. You try to stop your left hand. You tell it to drop. You scream at it to release the fabric, but it refuses to listen. It is moving with absolute intent. It has its own desires. It has its own plan. It is almost as if another person has hijacked your body. This is not a scene from a Hollywood horror movie. It is not a case of demonic possession. This is an incredibly rare, terrifying neurological condition known as alien hand syndrome. It is a medical anomaly where one limb gains its own independent consciousness. A condition that proves your brain can split into two separate minds, and one of them might be working against you. To understand how terrifying this truly is, we must look at the real medical case of a woman named Karen Byrne. Karen had suffered from severe, uncontrollable epilepsy since childhood. Her seizures were so violent that they completely shattered her quality of life. Traditional medicine failed her. In 1995, at 27 years old, her doctors proposed a radical, last-resort surgery. It was an operation called a corpus callosotomy. The goal was simple. Surgeons would literally slice her brain in half. They wanted to sever the massive bridge of nerve fibers, connecting her left and right hemispheres. The surgery was a medical success. The electrical storm stopped. Her epilepsy was cured. But when Karen woke up in the recovery room, her life became a living nightmare. As she sat up to speak with her doctor, her left hand suddenly flew up. It violently slapped her across her own face. Karen was horrified. She thought it was a temporary muscle spasm from the anesthesia, but it wasn't. Her left hand began acting entirely on its own. If Karen picked up a cigarette with her right hand to smoke, her left hand would immediately snatch it away and throw it in the trash. If she walked into a grocery store to turn right, her left arm would grab her torso and force her to walk left. Karen's brain had been successfully divided, but in the process, her left hand had developed its own independent will. She was now sharing her physical body with an invisible stranger. How is this biologically possible? How can a single hand act with complex intent without the owner's permission? To solve this mystery, we have to look at how our brain hemispheres are wired. Your brain is split into two halves. The left hemisphere controls the right side of your body. It is typically the home of logic, language, and speech. The right hemisphere controls the left side of your body. It manages spatial awareness and nonverbal processing. Under normal circumstances, these two halves are constantly talking to each other. They send millions of electrical signals per second across that bridge called the corpus callosum. When that bridge is severed, whether by radical surgery, a severe stroke, a brain tumor, or an aneurysm, the communication completely stops. The left brain no longer knows what the right brain is doing. They become two completely isolated, processing units living inside the exact same skull. Medical science categorizes this phenomenon into distinct types based on where the damage occurs in the brain. The first is the callosal form. This happens when the bridge is broken. It creates what doctors call intermanual conflict. This is exactly what Karen experienced. One hand acts in direct opposition to the other hand. It is a literal battle for physical control. The second is the frontal form. This happens when damage occurs directly in the dominant frontal lobe. In these cases, the alien hand becomes incredibly impulsive. It cannot resist touching things. If a cup is placed in front of the patient, the alien hand will instantly grab it. The patient will scream, "I don't want that cup," but their fingers refuse to let go. The brain's ability to inhibit unwanted actions has been totally destroyed. Living with alien hand syndrome is both exhausting and deeply terrifying. Because the rogue limb acts on subconscious desires, the actions can sometimes turn incredibly dark. In several documented medical journals, patients have reported that their alien hand tried to cause them physical harm. One elderly patient reported that while she was sleeping, her left hand woke her up by wrapping itself tightly around her throat. It was actively trying to choke her. She had to use her dominant right hand to physically pry her own fingers off her neck to save her own life. Because there is no definitive cure or pill to fix alien hand syndrome, patients have to get incredibly creative just to survive the day. Neurologists have developed unique behavioral therapies to help patients reclaim some form of peace. The most common tactic is called object distraction. If you give the alien hand a specific task, it remains occupied. Patients will place a tennis ball, a stress toy, or a cane into the rogue hand. As long as the hand is holding an object, its independent consciousness is distracted, preventing it from reaching out and causing chaos. Other patients resort to physically restraining the limb. They wear heavy oven mitts to stop the hand from gripping objects. Some tie the arm to their belt while walking in public. Others even speak directly to the hand, as if it were a misbehaved pet. Stop it. Be quiet. Over months or even years, the brain can slowly adapt, and the constant battle often begins to fade. Alien hand syndrome forces us to confront a deeply unsettling question. Who are we, really? We like to believe that we have one unified mind, one consciousness controlling every movement of our body. But neurology tells a very different story. Your brain is actually a complex network of separate systems working together through a fragile connection. If that connection is broken, something extraordinary can happen. Another mind seems to emerge from within your own brain, fighting for control. If you found this true medical mystery absolutely mind-blowing, be sure to leave a like on this video. It really helps our new channel grow. Now I want to hear from you. Imagine you were in Karen's position. If one of your hands suddenly developed a mind of its own tonight, what do you think it would do first? Tell me your answer in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, so you never miss another terrifying medical mystery. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next medical file.